Is Turo still profitable in 2024? Let's find out. Stay tuned. Is your car sitting idle? Could it be making more money than sitting idle? Are you frustrated with the whole traditional side hustle thing? Pizza delivery guy, picking up trash, all this crap that you see now. Well, in this video, I'm going to tell you about Turo and what it can do to actually turn your possible scenario where you at now to a possible six figures. I'm going to take a deep dive with you and explore everything that it needs to be known about Turo. Additionally, I'm going to talk about how much money that you can actually make and discover the earning potential with Turo. I'm going to tell you how to get started, and I'm going to give you some tips to maximize and give some bonus tips as well too, so you got to stay for the entire video. Ultimately, what I'm telling you is that I don't want you to waste your potential with a car that's sitting in your yard right now, not being maximized. It's going to teach you how to get money in your pocket. First thing I want to say, there are going to be pros and cons when dealing with Turo. The first thing I want to talk about is the earning of the money. That's a passive thing for me. What I do, I hire a team, my team handles the rest, and I'm working logistically around the world. Now you must say, wait a minute, Turo's only in the United States, Canada, and whatnot. But I want to tell you something that's very important. You could do the same thing too. And I'm going to talk about that much later. There's a flexible schedule. Of course, I just got finished saying I'm doing this passive. So you can rent your cars on your time, on your terms. If you don't want to have your cars go out the door every single day, like I'm doing 90% bookings, you don't have to. You have the power to control the outcome of that. The other thing is that you can offset your maintenance. It's very important that with your offset maintenance is that you may not want to rent certain cars at a certain time of the season. You may not want to have a sports car that's going down the street when you got weather that's going to be snowing, ice, whatnot. You may say, hey, that car is only seasonal. You have the ability to do that, and that cuts down on your savings. One more thing that I will point out is that the rental income can help cover that car note that you have right now, the insurance and whatnot. So that's one thing that you could take in consideration. Now there's gonna be cons. Now this video is just really gonna lay out everything about that. You're talking about wear and tear on the vehicle. The more miles on that vehicle, more things starts to wear down. Tires, the battery, cleaner, whatever you need to have for the vehicle as far as making sure that it's running normal, it will end up being normal and higher. For me, it was the tire expense. Tires were very costly, but depending on where you get your tires at, they may not affect you. But oil changes, that's another thing. You want to make sure oil changes are being changed out. You normally would not change out your oil, but maybe every season or whatnot, depending on how you're driving or whatnot. But I'm changing my stuff out more than likely about every 2 or 3 months with my vehicles, which at the end, I offset the cost with basically looking at what I'm pricing these things. The other thing that I want to talk about is the insurance as well too. If you are dealing with insurance companies saying, "Hey, my car is being used on Turo to be rented out," they may drop you, so you have to go to special insurance. I use Tint. We're going to talk about that later on in another video, but you can go here to check out more about Tint. You can actually look down in the description down below too. But definitely, that's who I use. You got ABIX. You have other players out there. There are Turo-friendly insurance companies. Now, the other thing that you want to deal with too, irresponsible renters. I deal with all the time. You may have renters that, for example, I had one that just gave me a 1-star rating because I showed her the invoice for the gas that we talked to her about way into the message that, hey, make sure you gas up the car, return the car back full tank, 1 star, no comments. Does it happen? Yeah, you will deal with vehicles with that, and that's not really too bad compared to customers who may be speed racing in your vehicle. I had a customer a few months ago do that, and that can possibly happen. But it's how you market your vehicles, is what you say in your contents, and how you protect your vehicles. Next question. How much can you make discovering your car's earning potential? So I want to talk to you about that. That's very important. It depends on a few things. It depends on what type of car you have, the make, the model, the year, what's popular out there in your area. I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina, so it depends on variations of where you're at. If you're in Miami, you may say I can get away with a Lamborghini or another sports style car or whatnot, fancy car. Your location is very important too. Where I'm at again is Charlotte Douglas Airport, Charlotte, North Carolina. That's where a major international airport is. We have a lot of events going on in the city of Charlotte. We have various teams. We have football, basketball, baseball. We got college. We have the whole array of things that we have there. And then the other thing that you want to take in consideration is your pricing strategy. Your pricing strategy is going to be the key thing that's going to set you apart, especially if you're brand new to the area. If you're brand new to Turo, you want to make sure you have a good pricing strategy that's going to actually set you apart from your competition. Now, does that mean you got to keep it forever wherever price you may set it at? Because you may typically go in low entry. Not necessarily. You can increase your prices probably within a couple of weeks when I started off. That's one thing you got to take into consideration because you're going to have customers who are on pinching on a budget and trying to figure out, hey, let me go get the car as cheapest, and the cheapest may not be the greatest. And I always tell customers that that's the same thing if you're buying something. Like you wouldn't do the same thing to your heart if you had to go get a heart surgery, and the doctor over here said he could do it for $10 versus the guy who can do it for 50,000. How much confidence do you have of a person only going to do it for $10 versus someone who's going to do 50,000? So think about that concept right there, because you know you're going to get higher quality with the higher end one. You know that you're going to have better service versus someone who's not doing the right operations, not doing the right service. The same thing to say about these fleets out here on Turo. So take that in consideration. Availability. The vehicle, as I said before, you control the tempo of your schedule. If your vehicle is not available, do the two things: control and uncontrol. Control means that, hey, you're going to down the vehicle purposely. Maybe you got to do maintenance, maybe you got to do inspection, maybe you're doing some type of repair, or uncontrollably, car got in an accident, or a customer, it keeps extending the vehicle. Like I had a customer, same bad customer, kept extending for my vehicles day after day after day. It kept extending, making the car unavailable. So that can affect you on a good way and a bad way. If your vehicle's in the shop for 2 or 3 months, that's going to affect you negatively. Versus a vehicle, hey, it's got to do oil change inspections back on the door. That's not going to have an impact. Now, if you're new to this channel, make sure you subscribe, because this is where I drop knowledge on helping people who are new to Turo or having difficulty on Turo get help. I've been through it all. I've been doing Turo for quite some time. I've been in other car rental industries where it has been very difficult, and I have been able to figure out the way to alleviate that. Let's go back and continue. To figure out ultimately where you stand with your vehicle, Turo offers a calendar on their website that you can check out the value of your vehicle and where it stands. It's another tool that I can introduce you to down in the description below that you can check out, called Turex. Turex gives you the layout of how your vehicle can price against other vehicles even before you even start. So something to take in consideration. By understanding these factors, optimizing your strategy on Turo, you can unlock your car's unlimited potential and make a great significant increase in your income. Now we're going to talk about how you can get started step by step by becoming a Turo host. It's going to be very basic here, so please follow along and make sure you get away from the distractions. The first thing is that you need to sign up on the website. You need to create a free account. Then once you go there, it's going to ask about your vehicle information, including the make, model, year, VIN, and also features. Definitely, they're going to ask about your availability. When's the vehicle going to be available to be rent? They are going to actually look into your vehicle's information, see what they recommend for pricing your vehicle. And you, again, that's where the Turex comes in, because Turo can only tell you so much. Once you start doing your thing, you have to use your own decision factor on where you want to set your price at, because it may be too low. They may have a vehicle say, hey, we're only going to rent it out for $12. You may be like, I don't want my vehicle to go out for $12 a day. I wouldn't blame you either. You may say, okay, how can I make my car more competitive? Do I do free deliveries? Do I give discounts at a different rate? It's things like that. What features do I bring to this car? Additionally, you want to take high quality photos. You want to take high quality, meaning that you don't got to go get a professional photographer. You can get your camera phone and take decent pictures. You want to take pictures with scenery, whether it's at a baseball field, a baseball park, airport, parking lot, anywhere where it gives that allure, like, hey, this is a car to go out to. You don't want to take it at McDonald's. You don't want to take it at, at a construction site, things like that. You want to have a nice scenery picture to appeal to the customer. There shouldn't be other cars in the background. They should just be that vehicle too. I've seen so many people going through their profiles. Well, I can't get no sales, or I can't get people to rent my car. I'm looking at the quality of the photo, because your photo is your avatar. You also want to have a compelling description. Now, I offer this down below on how you can do this. I can walk you through the steps in more detail. I actually give you my script. It's down below, down the link below, for carsharegenius.com. Speaking of, I know some of you are talking about, hey, what's this Car Share Genius? I have a link down below. This is going to talk about my course. It's going to talk about how to walk you through A through Z on a massive scale level. So with this, I'm going to give you strategies on how to maximize your earnings and minimize the hassle. And I also got a book down below that you can check out. It's a comprehensive guide. It's called Starting Out on Turo. It's something that you definitely want to do before you actually step into the lane of Turo blindly. Now, like I said, I'm gonna give you some extra stuff. If you stayed this long for the video, now I want to talk to you about something. I want to talk about maximizing your earnings on to Turo without the hassle. Now, here's some expert tips that I follow, that I've learned, and that I've seen other people do to help get their stuff going. So the first one you already know about is the photos. You want to make sure you got a good pictures, good lighting. You don't want to take pictures in the dark. You want to be using keywords to make sure people are listening to you. So, what are keywords, Luke? You want to talk about the quality of the vehicle. What features is in this vehicle? Hey, I got Apple Care in there. I have, or Apple Play or AirPlay. I have Bluetooth connected. I have adaptive cruise control. I have heated seats. I have air conditioning seats. You want to talk about these things. You want to get in a good description. Also, again, you want to look at the competitors. You want to look at what type of cars on the field right now that are similar to yours. You're not just looking at, hey, I'm looking at a Dodge Charger 2011 all the way up to 2024. You're looking at, what are they competitors? For example, if we want to talk about the Ford Mustang, their competitor is the Chevy Camaro. Or you might say, I want to look at the Challenger. You want to look at what the ratings are, what features they are, and see where you fit it, because you want to get in there and be like, hey, I'm that guy for that. And some of you may not find that. It may be neck and neck. So then again, it goes back to, what are they doing? Are they willing to deliver at the airport? You can find out with Turex if they're delivering at the airport, and how much are they delivering it for. You may say, well, let me just knock a few dollars off of that and I can deliver it too. Because I'm telling you, when it comes to your customers, you may have customers that are only looking at the price. If it's too much, it could be like, well, I'm not going to do that. Or it might be the right price for them. So it depends on where you're at. Communication is key. Communication using the Messenger app, strictly the Messenger app. You may heard me say, hey, you can get on the phone and talk to them. That's when you got to give them directions to get back to your place. I know that sounds crazy, but I've dealt with customers who don't even know where I live at once they pick up the car. The memory goes. You want to make sure that you got them along and make sure that there's no issues, no questions. Now, you heard me talk about the other customer who gave me a 1-star review because they thought, in their opinion, they shouldn't have to pay for gas, even though it's been stated before. You're going to deal with that. Don't take it personal. You just got to make a note. Say, hey, you may have that same customer come back to you. Hey, I want to rent your car. With Turo, you don't have to let them rent the car. You can say, hey, based off this, I don't think I can provide the right service to this customer. And they won't penalize you. They won't tell you that, but it's true. Talking to customer service reps, I talk to them at least once a week, and we talk about things like this. Maintaining your car. That's another thing that you need to take in consideration. Maintaining the car. What's that mean, Luke? You may need to go ahead and get the car detailed, professionally detailed, every quarter or every semi-annually. You can do these things. Of course, your car is going to be clean on a regular basis, but to return that new scent like a brand new car, getting the tires rotate, all these things that you need to, you got to stay on top of your maintenance. With some of the apps like Bouncy or Zuby, links will be down below. They help you maintain a list or a log on what needs to be done. And as long as you got those things plugged up in your vehicle, you're going to be good. Consider offering extra services. Offering additional services like airport pickup or delivery to attract more rentals will equal more earnings. I always do this. I offer sometimes during the slow season free airport. That means free drop off, free delivery. I drop the vehicle off. You're not going to have to pay an airport fee. And you may say, Luke, that's crazy. Why would you do that? Because whatever you offset that price at the airport, you will be able to get that money back because these people are going to talk. People are going to say, go with him. I can set it right now, and I promise you, someone who's looking to fly into the Charlotte Douglas Airport will want that car right away. So it's up to you now. It's a hit miss. It may not hurt you. You may have a buddy system. Initially, when I started doing it, I had a buddy system. I have people who already had two cars. A person was driving the rental car and a person following the rental car, and it didn't cost them an Uber or anything, and they just went back. So you can support that. It is offered there. So you got to just make the right choice. Implementing these things through Turo can maximize your earnings, and it's something that I tell people to do all the time if they're looking to really put themselves out there as an all-star host or a power host, better yet. What do you think? Is Turo still a profitable asset to have onto the market of the side hustle? Do you think that you have it? Do you think Turo is able to provide this to you? Let me know down below in the comments. If you're serious about making that change, definitely hit me up on the course. There's a few things that I do want to say. Make sure you check out these videos. And again, guys, one more thing. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Until then, my name is Mr. Luke Evan Brooks, and I see you next time. Take care.